132 laps are complete in the Citizens Bank 400 on TNT, and Carl Edwards is the new race leader. And this was fun to watch. Raced Jimmy Johnson hard and then got the lead away. So Carl Edwards goes to the lead. Jimmy Johnson runs second. Then it's Kurt Busch, Martin Truex Jr., and Tony Stewart, the top five. Time for our Aflac trivia question. Aflac! Which active driver currently has the most starts at Michigan? Come on. Come on, guys.
Active like right now today?
Active in the series. Yeah, you knew, didn't you? Very good. I didn't think you'd catch that. Very good. Kyle Petty, our Aflac trivia question. KP with 51 starts here. And Aflac is going racing with Roush Fenway Racing later this year. 4 Cup races and 4 Busch races. Greg Biffle will debut the Duck on his hood at New Hampshire in a couple of weeks. There's his teammate. Carl Edwards out front, about to put Jeff Burton a lap down. That would leave 20 cars on the lead lap. 66 laps to go at Michigan, and Carl is out front. TNT Sports at the Michigan International Speedway. 138 laps are complete. Carl Edwards is the race leader. There are 19 cars on the lead lap. Matt Kenseth and Juan Pablo Montoya are done for the day after contact in separate incidents on the racetrack. Time to take you through the field. Start with Carl. Here's Lindsay.
Bill, Carl Edwards right now is right where he wants to be, right out front. That last stop they had put them in a good position for fuel mileage. And I want to point out something else special in their pit, because his pit runner, Tom, is the man that you guys have met before. He has a beard that he has not shaved since Carl had his last win. That was November 6th of last year. So if Carl wins today, there will be a razor in victory lane. To that.
2 lap cars separate Jimmy Johnson from leader Carl Edwards. Jimmy says the car is just too free. He's lost almost all of his rear grip. They're going to pit in about another 10 laps. Ralph?
Matt, Martin Truex is driving chassis number 053. Same car he ran at Pocono. He finished 3rd there. He's running 3rd here today, and he's closing in on the lead pair, Marty.
Well, Ralph, Kurt Busch is hanging in there in the 4th position with a race car that's a little bit loose. Coaching him over the radio, Roger Penske, certainly a father figure to many in the garage area, helping especially with his entry going into the corner right now. Kurt turning some pretty fast lap times, Matt.
And Tony Stewart runs in the 5th position. He says the last change he made did not help the front of the race car. In fact, it unhooked the back. Now, what he really needs is some rear grip on their next stop. Marty.
Casey Mears having a very nice, solid top 10 run today, Matt. His dad, Roger Mears, drives his coach to every race, wherever he goes. Roger ran some Craftsman Truck Series races early in his career with a borrowed number from Rick Hendrick. The number 25. Matt?
Right behind Marty is his teammate, Kyle Busch, in the 5. Kyle, a few moments ago, came on the radio and said, guys, I can really drift this car down in turns 1 and 2. Please tighten me up on our next stop. Ralphie?
Dave Blaney has gotten as high as 7th here today. His career best at Michigan is 6th. He has slipped back now to 8th. The front end has started to slide. The back end sliding off as well. He's struggling with grip, Matt.
What a recovery route for Kevin Harvick in the 29 car who runs 9. Back on lap 77, he flat spotted his tires, made several stops for repairs, and he has worked himself back into the top 10. He says his biggest issue, I am loose everywhere, mainly on exit. Lindsay?
Matt, right behind Kevin Harvick is Michael Waltrip, who suddenly is feeling very comfortable running the high line. On the last stop, they made an air pressure change, and they said it really helped. He wants a little bit of track bar change on the next stop, but right now they're very happy. And right behind him is the 26th car of Jamie McMurray. Jamie started 35th, has moved all the way up to 11th, and this on a day when Jamie McMurray is not feeling very well at all. To the booth.
Thanks, Lindsay. Denny Hamlin is in the 20th spot. There you see him fighting to hang on to the lead lap against the race leader, Carl Edwards. Coming up on Pit Stop, step away, we'll come back. You're watching NASCAR on TNT. action doesn't end when the race is over. Go behind the scenes of this week's race production and see what other fans are saying about Junior and Kyle Busch. And check out the new Track Pass with Nextel Race View only at NASCAR. Carl Edwards, the race leader. He's knocked Denny Hamlin off the lead lap. That leaves 19 cars on the lead lap. Martin Truex Jr. is up to second. Kurt Busch in the 2, Tony Stewart in the 20. That's for fourth.
And there you see two totally different lines, but this is where this bottom guy normally loses his momentum when you come off the 4, because when you're on the bottom, you can't let that car drift to the wall. And that's where the guy on the top has the momentum and usually can pull off a pass.
But we keep hearing these drivers talk about, I can't go with the gas, I'm not comfortable. Sometimes just being on the bottom of the racetrack and being able to ease back into the gas and then go full throttle at a lower angle gives you a comfort feel. So Kurt may just be more comfortable running the bottom. He's throwing away the lap times right now because he's not capable of running what those other guys are. Maybe he's just throwing it away a little bit.
We were led to believe Matt Kenseth was done for the day. That's not the case. He's back out on the track. His last DNF came at Martinsville in 2006, 45 races ago. There's Matt. Looks like he's headed back for pit road. Jimmy Johnson is on pit road, headed for his pit stall. 51 laps to go, Matt.
51 and counting. Mike Trower up on the wall. The front tire changing, waiting for Jimmy to hit the box. Again, slides to a stop. They're going to make a slight chassis adjustment. Rich Gutierrez on the left side of the car. Ron Malek also his little track bar adjustment as well to try to tighten up Jimmy. A little more at the beginning of this run. Losing the back end of the race car. He is away. Pit stop.
Crew Chief Chad Canals watching his driver, the defending series champion, pulling off of pit road. There's race leader Carl Edwards, looking for his win since 2005. And he's put Clint Boyer a lap down, leaving 17 cars on the lead lap.
Now, according to Larry's calculator, he's going to have to stop again.
Well, let's find out, Larry.
Yeah, Bill, I mean, there is no question. The 48 car will have to stop again. I think a lot of these guys can actually make it on making this next pit stop. Now, we've been talking about the track bar. That's not where Marty Schneider hangs out when you can't find him. What it is part of the suspension here. And what you'll do, Steve Letarte did it with Jeff Gordon. They'll go through the back window and they'll run the track bar down. And that lowers this point right here, which will help tighten the car up. Now, one thing that Kyle and Wally has pointed out, they've not seen a lot of adjustments by the teams through the back window by making chassis adjustments like this, which change the height and rate of the spring. But I think what we have been seeing that you won't see on a pit stop, because remember, the tire is a spring too. These guys will make air pressure adjustments, and 1 pound of air change in this tire can change the rate of this tire almost 20 pounds. And the good thing about changing air pressure versus this will not take a chance of slowing your pit stop down. I think we'll see a lot of that on this last stop because, guys, it's getting hotter.
All right, go get your calculator, okay?
You got it.
Did he fire one across Marty's bow there?
Nice one.
That was good. And like Larry says, we hear so much of these guys talk about loose and tight and all this stuff. The air pressure adjustment is a very subtle adjustment. Even though it's 20 pounds, it's a very subtle adjustment to the attitude of the car. It doesn't lower the right rear, it doesn't raise the right rear, it doesn't lower the left front or raise the left front.
Ralph.
Well, the 22 is in. Remember, they've been fighting getting grip into this car, so they're going to make some adjustments to it. Looks like they're going to do that all with air pressure and try to get Dave Blaney back out and see if he can improve on his career best 6th place finish here.
And before that, we saw how much new tires will help you when Jimmy Johnson roared past Carl Edwards. Kurt Busch now on pit road. Coming to you, Marty.
Yeah, Kurt's been battling a loose race car for much of this run. As I said, been working with Roger Penske. This pit stop, though, will lead them just a little bit short, as Larry Mack's calculator would tell us. We're making it all the way on fuel. That's something Kurt did ask. He comes to the stall, tries to go coast in as best as he can. It'll be 4 tires, and once again, no changes to the chassis. They asked Kurt, what do you want to do to the chassis on the radio? He said, I can't think of what we can do, even though those guys are a little bit faster than us. 4 tires and yet another quick stop for the 2 bunch.
Sometimes you're afraid to make a change.
Right, because you don't want
to go the wrong way. You know, I'm out there running. I see everybody else. They're all out of control. I know I'm out of control and holding my breath, and I'm thinking, my God, I don't want to make a change and get worse. I can stay where I'm at and be safe.
Matt, here comes Kyle Busch.
And Busch on his way to his pit box as well. Now Busch was saying, whatever you do, please tighten me up. You can see they've got the wedge wrench in the back window. Going to make a track bar adjustment. Air pressure adjustment as well for Kurt Busch. 11-12 seconds. 14.8 seconds for Kyle Busch.
55 miles per hour, the pit road speed. Kyle returns to the track. The hotter it is, the more slick it is, the more likely you are to want to be tightened up all day?
No, it just depends on which way your car's going.
Okay.
I mean, it really does. I mean, if you start off tight, it's just normally it'll just get a lot worse. So.
Okay.
And there is a difference in being tight and having grip. Okay, you can be tight, and what I mean by that is the front doesn't have grip and you're just sliding, but you got plenty of rear grip. These guys are talking about not having a lot of rear grip at the same time they're talking about being loose. They're fighting 2 issues: grip and looseness.
Matt.
And another RCR car, Clint Boyer making his way down pit road. Boyer, his car just tight all day long. They've not been able to get it. The 3 out. Whoa, slides at an angle in his pit box. Going to try another chassis adjustment. They're frying that balance for Clint Boyer. Another one of those drivers trying to score his first Nextel Cup Series win. Came close here last year. He's away.
Smokes him. And heads back out. Here comes your race leader and your second place car, Martin Truex Jr. Now, we talked about a driver had won their first race and never won the next race. Well, a driver has won their first career race and then won 2 races later 4 different times. The last time was Davey Allison in 1987, Talladega, then Dover.
No, you're pitted. You see the car on the apron in front of you? You're clear of him.
Carl Edwards is going to duck down and get some service on his car. Martin Truex is going to stay out there. And I'll tell you what, Kyle, he's right there at that border where maybe he can make it on one more stop, and that would be big.
Lindsay.
Carl Edwards wants his car freed up a little bit, so they're going to, of course, give him the proper adjustment. They will give him 4 tires. And, guys, if you think about this, he made his first start here, 100 races ago. He finished 10th. How ironic if he could get his first win of the season today. Ralph?
Well, Lindsay, this time they're pitting the 11, and they're hoping to keep the car on the jacks this time. They come around to the left side where it fell off the jacks the last time. Everything looks pretty smooth. They're just going to make air pressure adjustments, and away he goes, Matt.
Tony Stewart last pitted at lap 113. At this juncture, they can go all the way in the distance. Kevin Harvick pulls in right in front of Tony Stewart, gives him a clean tear-off on the windshield. Air pressure change for Harvick. Stewart's away. This race car, he scored his first ever fuel mileage win back at Kansas. Well, they're hoping to do it again today, Ralph.
Martin Truex makes his way into his pit box. The crew goes over the wall. They were talking to him about his lap times. They said, buddy, they're killer. What are you doing? Oh, never mind. Don't tell us. Just keep doing it. Minor adjustments to the car here, Marty. They're very happy with the 1.
Well, Ralph, we told you 2 minutes earlier in the show, 2 minutes into our conference call on Tuesday, Larry Mack started talking fuel mileage. Here it is Sunday afternoon, paying off. Casey Mears coming to pit road. He will visit his team right here. They are right on the edge of being able to make it all the way. Casey said the car is excellent, and they think they can make it all the way. They're hoping at least they can make it all the way, Ralph.
Well, Marty, the A car is doing the same thing on fuel mileage. They've sharpened up the pencil pretty good. They think they might be able to go all the way as well. Their bigger problem, however, is they're having communication gap. They're not so sure, Marty, that Dale Jr. is hearing everything they're saying to him.
Jeff Gordon is still loose. They put a rounded wedge in the left rear, but being loose helps you save on fuel mileage sometimes. Steve Letarte radioed that to Jeff. Do you think us being loose is helping us? Jeff said, if you're talking about saving fuel, I would say yes. They think the 24 can make it the rest of the way on fuel.
These teams are right on the edge of the fuel window. Told you before the race, about 38 to 42 laps. There are 40 laps to go right now here at Michigan.